boy's fingers were still sticky with jam when he climbed the old fence. Past the chapel, behind the collapsed greenhouse, the black fig tree stood tall, unpruned, wild and whispering. "Don't touch that fruit," the caretaker had warned. "It grows fat on envy." But Noah didn't believe in old men with limp mouths and milky eyes. He believed in hunger. Real hunger, the kind that crunched your insides like dry leaves. He'd been eating stale bread for days while his father drank his wages into vinegar. So he took one. It bled on his teeth, dark and warm like something alive. The first change was small. His neighbor's new bicycle vanished overnight, and Noah found it in his shed, gleaming under a tarp he didn't remember laying down. The second change, more obvious. His father, broke for months, came home with wads of cash, reeking of smoke and guilt. Said a man at the bar had slipped, playing cards. Noah didn't ask questions. The more fruit he ate, the more came to him. Shoes that fit. Teachers who overlooked his silence. Friends whose parents worked overtime while Noah played in their rooms, belly full. He told himself he deserved it. He'd suffered. He wasn't greedy. He was correcting a wrong, taking his share. But the tree wanted more. One morning, he found claw marks gouged into the wallpaper. His mother stared at the sink for hours, blinking like a broken metronome. At school, kids whispered in half-sentences when he passed, forgetting his name mid-sentence, forgetting he'd ever existed. Noah checked his hands, stained now, not with jam, not with soil. Black and pulpy like rotten fruit. He returned to the tree. Its branches were bare, every fig gone. The bark peeled back like skin, revealing a hollow trunk, and inside something that moved. It looked like him, smiled like him, and spoke. "You envy them, Noah, so I took their place. You fed me their names. I didn't. You wanted what they had, and now you have it, alone." Noah ran, through the chapel ruins, past the greenhouse bones, into a world where no one knew him, not even his mother. It started with a voicemail, a man's voice, low and strained. "Don't take the elevator. Not at night, not if it opens on its own." Ben listened to it 3 times before deleting it. Wrong number, he assumed. Still, that night as he came home late from work, standing in the cold hallway of his apartment building, the elevator dinged behind him. He hadn't pressed the button. The doors slid open slowly. The elevator was empty. Ben hesitated, then shook his head with a half-laugh and stepped in. The panel flickered. Every button was already pressed. B2, B3, B4, down to B13. That was the first time he noticed the building had more basements than he remembered. A lot more. He jabbed the button for the 7th floor. Nothing happened. The elevator was already going down. Fast. The lights dimmed. The hum of the mechanism grew uneven. On B1, the doors opened, revealing an empty concrete hallway, then closed again. On B2, a sound echoed in. Breathing. Not his. Ben started hitting the door open button, the alarm, everything. No response. On B5, he saw someone standing just outside the doors. A figure, still and silent, wearing something that looked like his own jacket. But it wasn't him. It wasn't anyone, because it had no face. He screamed, and the doors shut. On B9, his phone buzzed. A new voicemail. "Whatever you do, don't look up." He froze. Something wet dripped onto his forehead. His hand, trembling, reached up and wiped something thick and sticky. He looked at it. Red. The lights flickered. He couldn't resist. He looked up. The ceiling was open. Or maybe it had never been there. A face stared down at him, upside down, mouth stretched impossibly wide. Its eyes were his, staring at him with terror. Its grin was full of teeth too large for its skull. It whispered, "You shouldn't be here." The elevator stopped. B13. The doors opened. Nothing but pitch black. But something in that darkness was moving, fast and wrong, like limbs bending the wrong way, skittering, crawling. He backed away into the elevator, pounding the close door button. The doors began to slide shut. Just before they sealed, a hand darted in, long, pale, with 6 fingers, and stopped them. Ben woke up on the floor of the elevator. His watch was cracked. It was 7:03 a.m. The elevator was still. The doors were open. He was on the ground floor. Except the walls of the lobby were covered in mirrors, and none of the reflections matched. He stepped out. Behind him, the elevator dinged, doors slowly closing. A new voicemail. This time, it was his own voice. "Don't take the elevator. Not at night. Not if it opens on its own." Claire didn't remember opening the window. But there it was, wide open, curtains swaying gently in the night breeze. She lived on the 9th floor. No fire escape, no balcony. She closed it quickly, shivering, trying to laugh it off. Maybe she forgot. Maybe it had been cracked open from earlier. Maybe. Still, she locked it. That night she dreamed of breathing, not hers. Heavy, raspy, behind her ear. She woke up with her back to the window. Her bedroom was cold. Too cold. She turned slowly. The window was open again, the lock undone. But this time, there were fingerprints on the glass. On the inside. She moved out the next day. New apartment, new city. 7th floor. Triple locked windows. Still, the dream came again. Breathing, whispering. "You left it open again." She bolted upright. The windows were locked. Every one. But her closet door was slightly ajar. Claire stared at it. She didn't remember leaving it like that. She never left it open. She reached for her phone. 1:00 a.m. One notification. A photo. It was her, asleep in bed, taken from the foot of the mattress. She was holding her phone in the photo, just like she was now. She didn't move, didn't breathe. Then, the photo updated. Same frame, same angle. But now, something stood beside the bed. Tall, pale, with long arms and a face like a stretched-out version of her own. Her phone buzzed again. "You left the window open." Claire ran. She didn't pack. She didn't even take shoes. She sprinted down the hall of her building, reached the elevator, but it was taking too long. So she turned to the stairwell. The door opened before she could touch it. A woman stood there. Or something shaped like a woman. Wearing Claire's face, but wrong. Too symmetrical. Too smooth. Eyes that didn't blink. It spoke with her voice. "You always leave things open." Claire slammed the door, ran back to her apartment, locked everything. Closet, windows, bedroom. She stayed up till sunrise, and then, slowly, dared to approach the window. It was closed, but outside, written backwards in the condensation, were the words, "Thank you for letting me in."